Hi and welcome to another Free.volous webisode. Today I'm bringing you this sunless, tanned and or bronzed face. I do this when the sun starts to peek through, although again it's overcast. But anyway, this is one of those base makeups that I do very often, especially in the summer and when it's warmer and I want to look a bit more bronzed or sun-kissed, I would say. And I like to make it A, quite long wearing, and B, as natural as possible for my textured, acne prone skin, and almost 40 skin. So if you need less coverage, adapt it. If you don't have the products that I have, use whatever you have, whatever suits you, and you just can take one of the sections, because I start with very thin layers of creams and then I go with powders because of the longevity factor, but you can always just use one or the other. So without further ado, my neighbor's dog is barking a lot, so I'll have to go through the footage and see if I need to do a voiceover for this video. So if the next part is a voiceover but you can still see me talking, you know what happened. It's just, I think it's too much, but I'll see. But yeah, without further ado, let's jump into the tutorial and I'll see you on my next one. Bye! So let's start with foundation. You can use whatever you want at this stage. You can use whatever you want and adapt at any stage, but anyway, I'm going to use Hourglass Vanish Stick Foundation and I'm going to strategically apply it on the areas where I need the coverage. Going to blend it out with a dense fluffy brush. This foundation does need a little bit of slip to it, so if you feel like it's not blending out as it should, add a bit of an oil or something like that to make it glide a bit better. I like to use my fingers. Adding a bit more where I need it. Now I'm going to go with under eye concealer. I'm going to use the Make Forever HD concealer, which I'm really fond of and I have rediscovered, and I'm just applying a couple of dots under my eyes on the darkest areas and blend them out. Next I'm going to go with my cream bronzer. This one is by Milk. It's the matte bronzer stick in Blaze. And I'm just going to take it with my fingers and press it on the areas that I want bronzed and that would naturally get suntanned on my face, which is basically the tops of my cheeks and along my cheeks, along my nose, and then forehead. I'm just roughly applying it. I'll blend it out with the brush. Same brush, the foundation brush. Really trying to blend out these edges here where the bronzer needs to fade into my foundation so that it doesn't look too stark and too makeup-y. Let's move on to highlighter, and I'm really happy to say that I'm really digging this one that is from the drugstore or supermarket. It's the L'Oreal Infallible New Sticks. The foundations are absolute crap. I didn't like them at all, but this stick is beautiful. I have mine in 501, which is Oh My Jewels, but they have a couple of other shades, I think, including a bronzy one that would look beautiful on darker skins, and it blends so beautifully into the skin and it looks dewy, not shimmery or metallic on the skin. It's really pretty, and I love to mix a bit of a highlighter with my bronzer. My skin is basically done, and if you have as I have a bit of a soft spot for a bit more of a dewy skin, and for cream products, you would stop here, I would say. But I'm also quite realistic, and for my products or my face to last longer I need a bit of powder. I've been trying this out, not quite finished on my conclusions yet, but I'm really loving it. This is the Hourglass Veil Translucent Setting Powder, and it's expensive, yes. Hard to get by in Portugal, yes, but you can get it. And I'm really loving it, to be honest, and let's see how it works on camera. I've been doing my reviews on it on Instagram stories, and I'll do an overview at the end on my blog and on Instagram. So if you want to know how I found about it, you know what to do. So I'm going to press a little bit of the powder on my oilier areas and on the areas where I don't want the foundation to move, because scarring and, you know, all of that jazz. My dog is snoring and the neighbor's dog is barking, so let's have a symphony, shall we? Anyway, downside to this powder, up until now, the thing that I found is that it is not translucent, or as translucent as it is supposed to be. A friend of mine from the UK, Lavania, I'll link her blog down below, she swatched this on her and it showed up a bit ashy on her, so for darker skin tones this will not be the holy grail. It should be, and Hourglass has a history of producing a lot of shades for their foundation, so I don't know what's the deal with that. But if this isn't translucent as it's supposed to be and as it is on my skin, they should have released at least 2 tones of powder. Hourglass, make do. As I was saying, applying it on the areas where I wanted to stick to my face. Because I'm going over with a bit of powder bronzer, I'm going to apply what's left on the cheek area, but without going over the highlighter. As I said before, after powdering, if you need powdering, of course, it's all a matter of preference. I'm going to do this because my skin is a bit oily and I want it to be the most long-lasting that it can be. So I like to layer thin layers of product, and I like to layer creams and then powder over them to just enhance it all. So I'm just going to go over my bronzer with some bronzer. This is the Inglot bronzer that I mentioned on my video last week. This is J219 in Sunset. I said a different number because this is the Boogie Down Bronze Freedom System in J219 Sunset. Come on, names. Too many names. So, with a gentle touch again, a bit of bronzer where I've already applied it, and when there's hardly anything left on my brush, blending it all over the face so that it doesn't look like there's just orange. So there you go. And again, layering, I'm going to take highlighter. And this one is by Colourpop. This is Here Kitty Kitty. Love this. Love it. Again, very affordable. I always say Colourpop is worth buying despite the customs, and you can share the expense with a friend and buy a boatload of stuff. So again, pressing over where I had the cream highlighter, not going overboard. Oops, now I went overboard. Blend, 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 blend. And what's left on my brush, just bringing it along the eyes, and this will do barely anything, but just bring a bit of light. Setting spray, I'm using the MAC Fix Plus. It's not an actual setting spray, but it will melt any leftover powders, which I don't feel that with this Hourglass powder it even needs to be done, but anyway. And to be honest, I sometimes just brush my brows with a bit of brow mascara. This one is by Essence, the Make Me Brow. I hope they still sell this because Essence is always redoing stuff, but this is glorious. and I can go out the door and some people don't even think I have makeup on, which is amazing for somebody with my skin issues. But right now I'm going to apply a little bit of mascara, Lash Brow Mascara by Clinique. No news there, it's tubing. It can look really natural if you just gently graze your lashes with it. I like to roll it on the roots and then softly bring it out. And for an extra natural pop, I like to just use clear gloss. And for a very inexpensive option, I have here the Essence Shine 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 Gloss, the Wet Look Lip Gloss. And this is in 01, behind the scenes. And this is just their clear gloss. Pop it on. And this is my sort of summery skin. I just realized that one of my lights was out of place and too close to me for the whole video. For that, I apologize. But yeah, I hope you can see this is the finished look. You can turn it up, turn it down. From here on, you can use it with barely anything on, or you can just apply a bold lip or do a smoky eye, whatever you fancy. This is just kind of a tanned everyday skin that actually doesn't look too bad on almost 40 acne prone skin. I hope you have enjoyed this video. If you have, please leave me a thumbs up down below. If you want to see more from me, do subscribe, share my channel with other people that you think may be interested in it. Leave me your leave me your comments down below, letting me know what you want to see next. What do you use to look a bit more summery or glowy? And yes, thank you for spending your time on me, and I'll see you on my next video. Bye!